My name is Caroline Sinders, and I'm an online harassment researcher for the Wikimedia Foundation. My background is in photography and photojournalism, and I have a master's in interactive technology from the Interactive Telecommunications program at NYU. Right now, I am working on a 2-year-long grant with the Wikimedia Foundation. That's the nonprofit that powers Wikipedia. I like to think we help keep the lights on. Or we help make sure that Wikipedia is able to read on iOS or Android. We help fix certain things. So right now I'm part of a 2-year-long initiative to study what kinds of harassment and conflict unfold inside of various forms of the encyclopedia across the English language Wikipedia and other different language Wikipedias. Inherently, my work is incredibly interdisciplinary. When you work in online harassment, you have to really think about policy, for example. You have to think about design, and you have to think about technology. So I have to work with our legal team. I have to be in constant conversations about policy when we're trying to shape and craft and study what are varying forms of online harassment. But even also inside of, again, my artwork, I collaborate best with technologists and lawmakers. So I really like to dive into a subject and become what I call a temporary expert. I like to sort of know everything about the subject and become a domain expert as much as possible, which means I have to talk to so many different kinds of people. I have to talk to people that use whatever I'm studying. I have to talk to people that help craft the law around what I'm looking at, and I have to talk to people that help make what I'm looking at. I can't do it alone. Inherently, everything I do has to involve so many different kinds of people because it touches so many different kinds of hands. Learning how to work with people that don't have the same language that you have, in a sense, or the same kind of norms around how you make a project is so illuminating and eye-opening because you're really sort of forced to empathize with everyone around you. And you learn so much when the outcome isn't what does it look like, but does it work and did you answer a question? And you learn so much when you have to work with, for example, an educator from Chile or a journalist from Shanghai. You learn so much more about what it means to make something with other people when you have all these varied backgrounds. I think artists can bring a new kind of ideation and a way of seeing and research rigor. My background as a photojournalist and as a photographer and as an artist really shaped the rigor that I bring to the kind of design research that I do. And I think being an artist, you have to take so many critical theory classes. You have to really study and isolate what are you doing and how are you saying something in this one singular piece, because people can't see usually your whole body of work. They can't see your whole body of research. It's incredibly rigorous. It's a rigorous process. But also you're taking this idea that seems really nebulous. You're taking a concept or a thought or a theme and you're putting it into actuality and you're bringing it to life. And that's an incredibly hard thing to do. It's an incredibly hard thing to isolate, and it's an incredibly hard thing to do successfully. And by success, I mean, did you take this theme, did you manifest it in a way that other people can pull insights out of it? And that is so much of also design research. But when you have different people looking at the same problem in different ways, you're able to have this variety of outcomes and understandings. And that's so important to when you're doing really anything, but especially technology. What do other people bring to the table? What do they see that you can't see? That's so important when you're trying to solve these really complex issues. That's why you need artists embedded at CERN, for example. It's why you need artists embedded in science. It's why you need artists asking these different kinds of questions, because they bring a whole new insight and rigor to a work. It's very easy to get a nerd to the effects of wherever you're working, to be a nerd to the problems that are standard to the system you're working in. And artists can sort of see through that, and vice versa. Why place technologists with artists? Because they can see things in a new way and they bring a new kind of rigor. And that kind of conversation and collaboration, I think, is so important in terms of innovation.